Hi guys, welcome back to Rybrook BMW and Rybrook TV. And today I have finally got my hands on a BMW M2 Competition. So let's have a look at the key differences between this car and the standard M2. And then we'll jump in and take it for a drive.
So let's begin at the business end. And you'll notice there's quite a big difference down the front compared to the previous shape. First things, this car has got the M2 Plus pack, which gives you the Icon adaptive LED headlights. The front intakes here are more aggressive and larger to feed what hides underneath this bonnet, which we'll touch on in a minute. Down the front, you've also got these little inlets here, which just add a bit more flair to the front. And the kidney grills are now joined to give it a much more aggressive and powerful stance. Moving along the flanks of the car, you do get some brand new wheels. However, this car has come from BMW UK, and really strangely, it's got the original M2's wheels, which is strange because you can't actually spec them. I'll overlay some visuals of the new wheels afterwards. Along the side, you also have black accents along the air breathers, and the big thing, we've finally got M mirrors, which just give the car a proper M look about it. Around the rear of the car, not a great deal has changed. You've got the same LCI rear lights and bumper. You do get the black exhaust tips, which emphasise this car's sporty nature, and on the boot lid, the M2 Competition model designation. There are some pretty big differences, mainly these amazing M seats, which come from the M3 and the M4, this car's bigger brother. You also now get the driver performance controls, which you didn't get on the standard M2. You can now change this car's throttle response, its steering, and also the gearbox ferocity. You also have your usual creature comforts that you'd expect, including your heated seats, your cruise control, your satellite navigation, and full Bluetooth connectivity. Now that's enough of the aesthetics of this car. Let's take a look underneath that bonnet and see the beating heart of this car. So here it is, this car's beating heart. It is the S55 from the M3 and the M4, the engine that we've all come to know and love. But how does this enormous engine affect this small car? How does it feel in terms of its performance and its driving dynamics? Well, without further ado, let's jump back into the driver's seat and go and take a look. So first driving impressions of the new BMW M2 Competition. First things that you notice are the differences in the interior. You've got the much nicer racing seats which you get in this car's big brothers, the M3 and the M4. Look out the window and you can see the M wing mirrors. But let's not beat around the bush. The real thing with this car is this. Oh my word. Let's just pull that back a little bit. Now last year in the summer I spent a lot of time with the standard M2 and I'll be honest, completely fell in love with it. I thought it was absolutely epic and never thought that BMW would be able to improve on that car because I thought it was perfection. But this car, they have gone one step further. The bar has been well and truly raised, and the main reason for that is that engine. It's fantastic in the M3 and the M4, but put it in this car, such a small package, a short wheelbase, the engine responsiveness is just phenomenal. I mean, you can just drop it down, drop it down, drop it down, put your foot down. It does not feel like a twin turbo engine. There's no turbo lag. It just picks up and goes. From around 2,500 RPM, it just completely wakes up and goes. Whereas the previous M2, you had to really sort of ring it. That car had a single turbo, this has twin turbos, so the power increase has gone from 370 up to over 400 brake horsepower. Now you're probably thinking that doesn't sound like actually that much, but believe me that the difference is night and day. This car, thanks to that engine, feels entirely different. They have really raised the bar with this car. I mean, it flies, absolutely flies. However, they've not just transplanted the big S55 into this car. No, they've changed a few different components as well. The suspension is actually the same as in the standard M2, but somehow they've recalibrated it. And from my driving experience, at least, the previous car, especially over brows of hills and undulating bumps, the back end felt like it just wanted to let go at all times, whereas this one is so much more planted, so much more precise, and you have so much more confidence with it to get the power down. The grip levels are fantastic, which means that you can place it fantastically on the road, turn around a corner, and then it just absolutely slingshots you out the other side. Now, what's it like as an everyday car? Now, if you dial everything back into comfort and efficient, it's actually really comfortable. For a car with such a short wheelbase, it handles all the bumps and undulations of the British roads extremely well. Really well, actually. You could easily cruise from Devon all the way up to Scotland in this, absolutely howl around Scotland in it, and then drive all the way back. It's very, very easy to use. You get all of your creature comforts as you do in most BMWs these days, so you've got a lovely backlit new dials, you've got the professional media navigation system, and so on. I am absolutely blown away by this car, absolutely blown away. As I've mentioned, I spent so much time with the previous shape M2. I just could not believe that this car would be any better than that. But it is. BMW have really, really pulled it off with this. It's not far off perfection. That is big praise. It's not far off perfection. Recently, a name drop here, but it's the only car I can really compare this to. Recently, I drove a Porsche 718 Boxster GTS. And this is probably this car's closest rival. And the Porsche, as exciting as it was and as phenomenal as it was, that engine just lacked a little bit of something. And that little bit of something, this car has in bucket loads. The character that it has, I mean, you get into this every single morning, start it up, and it would just put a massive, massive smile on your face. And let's be honest, that's all you can ask for from a BMW M car. And this has put a bigger smile on my face than any car I've driven in the past 12 months. Now, if you would like to book a test drive in a BMW M2 Competition, do please contact your nearest Rybrook BMW retailer. Make sure you subscribe to Rybrook TV for an awful lot more content coming very, very soon. We are aiming to get at least 1 to 2 videos done per week, and there's also all sorts of different exciting things going on. So do please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and do please leave in the comments whether you would take one of these or the standard M2. Thank you very, very much for watching, guys. I will see you next time.